Alrighty, here we go. So, what is today? Today is the
I
April
think
18th,
I believe so.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is Zeke's first dungeon run.
I am so freaking scared.
It's okay. You'll be fine.
Oh, there's a movie for it too. Do you get this as well?
Yes, although I have turned it off to stop showing me cutscenes that I've already seen. So I only get it the first time I enter a dungeon now, and then it doesn't show me again.
There was a cool underground river fish.
Yeah, this is a whole coral watery based dungeon.
I want that fish. Okay. There's a text box. Do I quickly look at it, or do I get rid of it so I can?
Go ahead and read it real quick.
Okay.
Now, this particular dungeon has a really neat little trick mechanic to it. There's a room up here that's off to the end that, we don't need to really technically go in. There's nothing in it, except there's this bloody memo. And if I click on it, it tells me a little note. The captain likes his cabbage green. That means when we get to there's going to be a room later in the dungeon that's got 3 corals in it, 1 blue, 1 green, and 1 red. If we click on the one that the note indicated, the boss fight is easier. We don't have to face ads. If you click on the wrong one, you have to face ads during the boss fight.
Cool. Sorry, if you went up to show me, I didn't.
No, I didn't expect you to come with me. I was just telling you. There was a room on the end there, and there was a little bloody memo at the end, which I clicked on. And it gives you a little note, and it's a hint as to which color coral you should click on later in the dungeon.
Cool.
Sorry, honey, no aspect at this level.
No what?
No aspect. No nocturnal, no diurnal.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
I've got Benefic and Helios, and that's it.
It's cool. I haven't got that up and not in here.
I don't know. Unless you were purposely not hitting stuff, your health was getting to 75, 50%. It's cool.
Oh, I know how to put it.
No ring.
Yeah.
How did that happen? You sell off old gear and not update with new gear?
Yep.
Holy crap! My experience is already at 25. Or
I'm sorry?
sorry, my experience is already. My XP is already 25. Holy cow!
Huh?
I think you might
You mean 25%?
No. Oh no. Wait. No. Sorry. That's my XP. Sorry. Disregard. I was reading the wrong. I'm an idiot. It's the same.
I'm not sure what you were looking at.
I was just looking at my XP and I thought my XP was my level for some weird reason.
Oh, I see.
I thought it jumped from 17 to 20 in the main dungeon, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Not quite.
Yes, not. You took the words right out of my mouth. Not quite, indeed.
Well, when we do a daily dungeon, if you're low level, daily dungeons award quite a bit of XP, so you'll probably get 2, maybe even 3 levels when we do the first daily. But yeah, not. We queued specifically for this dungeon. Although I guess we could have queued for the roulette. This is the only one you've unlocked, so we would have gotten it. I guess I should have done that. I didn't think about it.
Well, that's okay. I'm very happy doing this.
Well, I mean, we're doing this like the thing is, if we want to give you the daily XP bonus, we're gonna have to do this again.
Okay.
But I'm fine with that. There are some people who do not like this dungeon. I don't understand why. Like, I mean, whatever. It's people's opinions, fine. But I really enjoy this dungeon. I think it's neat.
You know, it's probably because it's my first dungeon, but I really like it.
Well, it's also water themed. I figured you'd like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's like a cave as well. It's perfectly tuned to me, but people always remember their first, right? So
It's true. Oh man, what was that about you not being able to die? There I go. Alright, party wipe. So that was partially Surgeon's fault for pulling too much, and that was partially my fault for damaging instead of healing.
I see.
I'll res you when we get there.
Oh no, yeah, I thought I was gonna win.
Close. Good job, Zeke.
Okay, thanks. You may be unable to re-enter on battle.
Just hang out there. I'll get you.
Okay. Yeah, I ran my first dungeon. Yeah, I know. Are you hungry? Well, I'm dead anyways.
Here you go. Gotta accept the res.
Okay. Oh wait, should I wait until you? Totally. Sorry.
Generally you should wait for the tank to pull aggro.
Okay.
You should not be the first one to fire. The tank should be the first one to enter combat.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know once you did the res, I would thought, right, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Tell everyone for me, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
No worries. Just TGIF. Tank goes in first.
Yeah. I've heard so many TJF acronyms in my life.
Okay, so the note said green, so we're going to click on the green coral. Now that purple line on the ground, that means you're entering a boss room fight area. So you got to step past the threshold, come in the room.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
And then the room seals off, and you can't leave the room.
Okay, cool. I'm not cool for that, but I understand.
Okay, so now I get to teach you about loot rolls. After you
Okay.
kill a boss, a treasure coffer appears. Anyone can click, and it gives a loot window. So you should have a little loot notification window. You can click
Yeah.
on it. So the difference between need, greed, and pass. Pass means you don't want it. Need, you can only click on that if your class can actually use that item.
Yeah.
If it's an upgrade for you, go ahead and click need. If you don't actually need it, but you just want it for whatever reason, then you greed on it.
Okay. Cool. The only option it gave me was greed.
Okay, so that means it wasn't for your class, so yeah.
Yeah, it's like a mine shaft. I don't. Good job on dungeons.
Oh, wait until we get to Copper Bell Mines.
Ooh, excited.
Yeah, that's the third dungeon you'll do.
Cool. I wish I could see what the scurvy dog
You wish you could see what the scurvy dog what?
looked like. The
Oh.
enemy that we're fighting, the boss.
Pardon?
The boss that we're fighting, or
They're not, so these dogs, yeah, scurvy dogs, you can get up close and look at them. There's going to be more of them in this dungeon.
okay, so there's so many people in our party that it's hard to see.
Just wait until we get to an 8-man party.
Like, yeah.
All right, in this fight, we're going to target the Reavers first. Ignore Captain Madison until we kill the Reavers. Okay, now we start wailing on Captain Madison.
Okay, cool.
Okay, he runs away. We get a treasure coffer. And now you can need greed bass.
You're not greeting us, so. I wonder what I got.
Pardon?
Oh, I don't know what I got. Like it says on the chat window what everyone else got, but
You got an 8.
okay.
It doesn't tell you in the chat window, I think, but it will tell you in the loot window itself. The number over top of the item is what you rolled.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
See, here's a scurvy dog.
Ah, see.
Now this Reaver drops a key that we need for the next room.
Okay.
Perfect. Good. And then we use that key here and kill this guy. And he drops another key.
Cool. It's a lot easier using.
I'm sorry, it's a lot easier using what?
It's a lot easier using the number.
Oh yeah, then clicking on power is way easier.
Yeah, and having.
Okay, so we got that key. Now we gotta go this way.
Oops. I don't want to do second win back to you.
Pardon?
Oh, I accidentally hit 5, which is second win for me.
Oh.
And said to myself, you don't need to do that. You have Coward.
It's okay if you are ever in a situation where you're losing health, even if there's a healer on the team, they may have their hands full with something else. Go ahead and hit your second win. But yeah, at the moment I got you.
No, I don't think I needed my second win right now.
Okay, again, we are going to focus on the Shadowtail Reavers before we do Captain Morgan.
Okay.
Sorry, Captain Madison.
Madison all the time.
I think I do that a lot. I think I refer to this guy as Captain Morgan quite frequently in my head accidentally. I think so.
No, I don't think I've ever drank into Captain Morgan.
It's cheap rum, so I have avoided it. I'm sure I've had it, but yeah, I usually didn't drink it either. My mom prefers Bacardi. That's generally what I would have, or like there. But I'm more of a vodka person, so usually we would buy flavored vodkas, so or Tito's.
Yeah, I know. I was so happy when you got him.
I'm sorry, you said you're so happy when what?
When you told me that, because I said, "Yay, we're such good friends. We have so many commonalities."
Oh yeah. Okay, incoming. Okay, treasure coffer. Need greed pass.
What kind of vodka do you prefer, by the way?
Like I said, if it's unflavored, Tito's. And if it's flavored, then there's... Who was it that made the flavored stuff that we would get? Was it Smirnoff?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not... I would not drink Smirnoff. Is it Smirnoff or Smirnoff?
I was called Smirnoff, but...
I am horrified when I say stuff wrong. Anyway, I wouldn't drink their regular clear or whatever. The only reason we get that brand is because they have like a cotton candy flavor and then like an cake icing flavor. They're just really, really, really sweet. It's like drinking candy.
Oh, nice. I should try that.
Yeah, if you have access to it, they're really yummy. Or they were. Haven't had them in a while. Okay, you get a little cutscene.
He looks cool.
Okay, so in this dungeon, the way this dungeon works, or this boss fight rather, is these 4 grates, they'll have bubbles bubbling up at the surface, and if we click them before a certain amount of time has elapsed, then bad guys won't pop out of them. And if we don't click them by the time has elapsed, then bad guys pop out of them. Whether or not you're supposed to kill the ads in this fight, there are people who literally just ignore them and they're like, oh, just focus on the boss. I personally prefer to try and not have ads if I can avoid them.
Yeah.
This is my personal preference. So, yeah. Too late. Okay, so the other person who's with us is used what's called limit break. There's a bar that fills up as we play through the dungeon and kill stuff. And when that bar is full, you can use it, and depending on what role you are, determines what it does. If you're a DPS class, it does massive damage. If you're a healer, it reses whoever's dead and also provides a bunch of health for everybody. If you're a tank, it's a big shield. So they just limit break. They just use limit break to kill the boss a little faster. So I wasn't going to get into that yet.
Nice. So I assume we're done?
Yes, so now you get your final cutscene, and there's the last loot roll, which you can roll on once you get out of the cutscene. And you can give a player commendation to the person who accompanied us if you'd like.
So this is the loot roll, I assume, right here.
There's you should have also a loot window, like a little notification window that says loot.
Yes, I see.
And then there's also player commendation, so you can give them a thank you.
I tried to do it for you. I don't know.
You can't. We joined together, so you can only give it to someone who didn't start with you. So the other person's the only person you can give it to.
Okay, so I gave it to that person then.
Cool. All right, now we click the exit.
So I completed my objective. Interesting.
Yeah. So now I think it might zone you. I don't know if it's going to zone you here or if it's going to put you out at the entrance to that dungeon. But I'll catch up with you there. But so what are your thoughts? There you go. That was your first dungeon run.
Well, I liked it. I mainly liked the aesthetics of that particular dungeon. I found it really fun and beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Cool.
I felt like I still feel like I have so much to learn in this game and to be better, but I felt that I was more equipped to do it today than I was, like even a couple weeks ago. So
Oh well, I definitely think that's true. Yeah, and I'm glad you feel more competent and confident in it, and you did good.
thank you. That's really nice to hear.
Alrighty, let me stop the recording.